with my new Tommy servo board.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. These are my boards, and it's Frank's tips.
Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Then let's turn the camera, and it's Frank's tips. Yes.
So, if you've been watching our videos, like you should be, you'll remember that last July we had a Tommy that had blinders that didn't work. So I couldn't fix the board, the original controller board for it, and I made a new one, just quickly whipped up one by hand. What was that video number, Todd?
The video is 681. That number is 681.
She made this board. Since then, I've gone to the customer's house and given them a new reproduction board that I finally had the boards made by a manufacturer. And I get the blanks here, and then I assemble them. These are waiting to have the...
But your test board worked fine all that time.
Yeah, I mean, it worked great, but I wanted to get a finished board into the customer's game so that way I could have some more real-world testing. You know, as you did see in the video, I did talk about making them and things happen. I finally got around to doing it. And there it is. It's all finished. These are getting ready to get shipped out.
And you are going to be programming the chip.
I have to program the controller chip and put them in. That takes a little bit more time. As you can see, when we're going to cut to some demonstration and installation video, we're going to include a new servo with it too. You may not need it, but I want to offer a complete solution. So if you get it and your board's dead...
And these are going to be selling for $85,
right,
plus $6 priority mail in the United States and $13 airmail first class overseas.
Right.
And we'll be setting up a PayPal account. But Frank, what should we do right now?
All right, we're going to cut to the video of the installation right now.
Here we go.
All right, so here we are at the customer's house. I have a board here. Took the liberty of already mounting it. Assuming you know how to do it, you lift the bow tie out. There's just 4 screws. You have 2 underneath it here, and then 2 on top. Bow tie comes right off. And then you can mount the board. There's the mounting feet here. You can just use 2 of the existing holes if you want. You'll have 4 screws. If you want to use the extra screws, you can. If not, the 2 will be more than adequate. And it does look like it is sitting higher, but there's plenty of room underneath. All right, so when you get the new servo, so what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the collars and the bushings from the original servo over to the new one. Because the servo does come with them, but they're actually a little bit too small to fit the screws that you need to mount it to the bracket there. So we went ahead and removed the blinder assembly. It'll make it easier to put the new servo in. We'll just use a small screwdriver. Push a little metal collar through. Just be careful it doesn't go flying across the room. Pops out like that. Push it into the little slot. And then feed it through. Nice and easy. So what we do is we have the servo. It's actually a little bit easier if you just take this plate off. It's just the 3 screws that mount it right to here. And the whole thing sets on top. It can be a little bit of a pain just because these are rubber grommets, so you just have to kind of finagle it a little bit. And then we'll just tighten the servo down. You don't want to over tighten it because you don't want to strip the screws. They are just tiny little machine screws. So just until they're snug, keep everything from moving, will be adequate. Okay, so you just feed the wire through the hole here. And just 4 1/4-inch wood screws. Hold the plate down into place. Now you notice we haven't attached the arm yet. You don't want to do that because we want to make sure that it's centered before we attach it and screw it down. Now underneath of here, there's a little clip. Hold your wire, just feed it through there. Feed it through the hole, and feed it underneath of the board and around to the other side. Now, what's marked on here is the red wire. So the red wire goes out. You can see right there, marked red wire, and plug it in like so. Now, if it isn't already done, if you look at the little adjustment pots, there's little flat spots. They're going to be shipped centered, but just make sure that they're still centered before you apply any power to it. Alright, so now we're going to plug the main connector in. You don't want to put the arm on yet because we want to make sure that it's centered. So when you turn it on, by default it's going to go to the blinder's open position. So once you know that it's there, you can either turn it back off or attach the arm. Okay, so now we know that it's in the open position. You can leave it out a little bit because you give a little bit of adjustment room. So you just feed the tab into the slot, then just push it down, and use the screw that come with the new servo because it's probably going to be a different size than the servo that's on there. And if it's too big, you'll split the armature, which we don't want to do. Snug it down, turn it on. Now inside the game you want to put it in the arch test. Green button should be down, hit the black button, step up. After the display of the mirror test, then we go to the arch test. So there's two adjustments on here. You have the open adjustment and the close adjustment. So since the blinders are open, we want to adjust it. If you don't have a screwdriver that'll adequately fit, you can do it with your fingers. You just want to adjust them until they're just out of the way. Then you push the start button, we'll open them. Then you adjust the other pot so that they're fully closed, and you're good to go. Now when the light is on, that means that the board is ready and running. When the blinders are asked to be closed, then the light will go out. That lets you know that everything's working properly. And that's it. It's that easy to install. And now for the last step, let's put the bow tie back on. Unless somebody changed the screws over time, it should be 2/4 inches underneath and 2 small Phillips on top.
Thunder.
Thunder and lightning. Let's hope the power doesn't go out during testing. That would suck. Maybe he's got a backup generator. And one last time. Everything works beautifully. And you're back in business. Thanks for watching.
Well, there it is, folks. That wonderful new board in operation.
And as you can see, the adjustments are real time. So when you have the board, when the blinders are open, all you have to do is just turn the knob to adjust it open and close. And then when you have it in the test mode on the game, you push the start button to close them, and then you can just to fine tune your adjustments. The original board didn't have that. I could tweak that here. It wasn't a big deal, but when a customer gets this to their home, I want them to be able to install it, adjust it, and be done with it.
That's great, Frank. A great, wonderful board for your Tommy. And you should order them while we have them, Frank. He's only doing a run of 100 of these, right?
Maybe probably about 50. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how the first few go, and then maybe I'll do some more if we need them. I have a couple of other board designs for some other boards that I'm working on, not just these. So this was a good test run, testing out the manufacturer. I like the quality.
And what do you think of that? This is a really good Frank's Tips.
Yep.
Offering you this wonderful new circuit board. And that music means it's time to go.
Order them while they're here.